So did Kamala Harris, did she have earrings? Was her earrings? I mean, she was so smart. She was so factual. She had all that information. All we've seen is like how goofy and silly she's been. Now I want you to take a look at the earrings because they are pearl and they do have that pearl little thing. But just notice how big like the arch is. The arch is big, okay? So it's not huge, but it's going to be a lot bigger than these other ones. This other picture here are these audio earrings, and they don't have as deep of a pocket. You see how it's not as arched? You see, okay, take a look at that. You have maybe, I don't know what, 2-3 centimeters there, or millimeters. What is that, about 3 millimeters, 2 millimeters, and then here it just looks like maybe 1 millimeter. So these are the audio earrings, and you could get audio earrings. They also don't work that well because they're not actually in your ear. They're like in your, you know, the bottom of your lobe, and so it has to like, so they don't work that all that good. And then they also did a fact check on this, and they found out they're Tiffany's earrings. So, you know, that was Kamala. She knew all the stuff. They weren't allowed to have any prepared notes or what have you. Now, this isn't about that, but this is like the fallout from that. And let's just take a quick clip. This is Tyler Oliveira, and he's actually done a whole bunch of videos. Let's just take a clip.
Fixed income.
Are Haitians paying rent? Are they paying their bills? Are they being paid to live here?
They're being paid to live here. I don't see why they'd have to pay rent if they're being paid to be here.
Who's paying them?
The government. And that's our biggest issue too, is they're taking our schools over and they're running the Americans out of our own countries, it feels like.
This country has gone to hell. 12 motherfuckers live there, and there's...
Okay, so this is just a racist piece of shit, and I had a really bad impression of this guy because this motherfucker's dropping N-bombs, and he just was like giggling about it. Now, here he is in the Venezuelan, in Aurora, and he's asking them if there's the Tren de Aragua have taken over.
No bueno, no good los apartamentos.
No bueno aquí.
No good.
Oh, interesante. Pregunta, ¿es Tren de Aragua aquí?
No.
No? Okay. Fake news? Also news? Okay, gracias. ¿Es Tren de Aragua aquí o no?
No.
No?
No.
¿Peligrosa aquí lately? No? ¿Es cierto que los pandillas se han apoderado de este complejo de apartamentos o no?
No sé, porque yo vivo trabajando, yo vengo al trabajo y a dormir.
¿Cuántos años vive aquí?
Meses.
¿Meses?
3 meses.
Okay, ¿de dónde eres?
Venezuela.
Okay, I'm sure that'll be a common story out here. We are not hearing any confirmed gang activity.
Okay, so that was just a little clip. He's investigating the murder capital of the world, and I think it's
Someone's probably planning to steal from it right now.
Right.
I hear this place is dangerous. Is that true or no?
No.
Yeah.
No?
Sometimes.
Sometimes? Who's doing the craziness out here?
People with the guns.
Come on in. This is where the products are made. Feel safe out here?
Yeah, man.
Yeah?
Yeah, man.
What are your thoughts on the police?
I mean, you see Jamaica situation, right? Come about from the independence movement from Britain. Jamaica gained independence 1962 from Britain. But with that, it came with a lot of difficulties because of the constitution. But my parents, they didn't have the choice to make their decision what type of constitution they wanted, right? The constitution did not have much in it to support the development of the Jamaican people. And so, you know, I can't tell you much, but I can say, for example, they gave the Constitution, the Prime Minister, too much power. In that sense, we can't have a democratic Jamaica. All right.
Thank you, Prince. That was very well put. With many
That's pretty fascinating. So he did this, another one, the most violent city in America, Memphis.
enforcement of law.
Narrative because the kids they're out running wild, trying to find guns, and their solution to everything is shooting people.
When did you notice that shift in conflict resolution or lack thereof?
It was definitely during COVID and Black Lives Matter came in. It was a narrative of racism. All white people are racist, and you know that's not true.
Have you been called a racist out here?
4 times in 1 month.
What does the future of Memphis look like?
To be honest, I'm not sure. I mean, hopefully if they can find some kind of resolution for these kids, and I don't know if they have to hold the parents accountable. I hate the fact that it is
So he's done a whole bunch of them, and they all got like millions of views. He interviewed the most racist man in America, investigated the gun violence capital, investigated the most dangerous city. So he seems like a pretty well-rounded person, so I just want to mention a couple things of what he had concluded. So, let's see, is there Tren de Aragua, the Tren de Aragua gang? Well, the Iceman, he had said, nobody had actually verified it. I don't think anybody said yes. There was maybe one person that seemed like, I don't think anybody said yes. But there are a lot of migrants from Venezuela, and it's absolute shithole. These apartments are just trash all over the place. Half of them are vacant, and they've trashed the insides of them. The landlord is nowhere to be seen. One guy just stopped paying his damn rent. I ain't paying my rent no more, because why should I pay rent? $1,400 is what you pay, rent for in one of these buildings. $1,400 fucking dollars. And it's all violence, and it's crazy, and there's a lot of migrants there, so it's not all violence, but they said that they heard gunshots like every 2 days. There's always some shit that's going down. So it seems like in general it's peaceful, but it just seems like a forgotten corner of Aurora, Colorado. So it's not the whole city. It's not even the whole block. It is these apartment buildings, like literally just right here in these apartment buildings. So the Iceman, he said it pretty good. He said that even if Tren de Aragua was not here, then perhaps there could just be some migrant gangs who are pretending to be Tren de Aragua. Oh, I'm Tren de Aragua. You better do as they say. And I bet you that could be it too. And actually, when I think about how the Bloods and the Crips had started, they were just were created out of thin air, really. Well, one guy, the Bloods were created because of the Crips. The Crips had attacked the Bloods, or the guy who was going to be, it's going to make a gang to rival the Crips. And the guy who formed the Crips, Raymond Washington, he was just pouring down and out and just created his own thing. And then the Bloods are kind of created the same way. So in a way, that's how gangs are created. So if they are pretending to be the Tren de Aragua, or they're actually the Tren de Aragua, it doesn't matter. They got fucking guns. They're going around shaking people down. And so I believe that is happening. The TYT did a very good report on this. Now, because they probably got a bunch of pushback, you probably had a bunch of people saying that, it's, oh, you believe in that racist shit. Let's take a look at some more of these.
See? Did a friend tell you to come move here for a job? How did you learn about Springfield?
Yo tengo mi padres por ahí.
Okay. How much?
So that's a Haitian, and he said he's got parents here, and that's why he decided to stay there. And he's asking these questions because the debate, you had Donald Trump saying that Haitians were eating dogs and cats. So Haitians are eating dogs and cats, that Donald said, and so we're trying to figure this out, right? And so let's listen to a couple more of this.
To rent an apartment here in Springfield, how much do you pay for rent?
Pero todavía yo no pagué, pero yo vivo con mi padre, mensual cada mes 700.
Is anyone eating cats out here?
No.
Okay. Falso.
Falso
información. Okay. Do you know many other Haitians here?
Yes.
Yeah? Big community?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. And why are so many Haitians coming here to Springfield in particular?
He's
saying that there's work there. So I just want to make a couple comments actually about why I believe that I believe that they're probably eating ducks and geese. There's Peking duck. When it comes to the daily payment of the Haitian, the average person in Haiti, the average Haitian in Haiti, I read it was $5 a day. I've heard it actually way worse. I thought it was like 68 cents a day. So $5 a day, $5 per day. You work the whole damn day and you got $5, which you could get a $5 foot long. You could get a Happy Meal. Not even, what can you get at McDonald's these days? Just a big fry and a Coke. So $5 a day is all that they're paying. So they're coming out of super boredom, big time boredom. The president of Haiti was killed in 2021, July 7th, 2021, Jovenel Moise. When they were killing Jovenel Moise, they were sitting there shouting, DEA, DEA. There's been connections with the people that had killed Jovenel Moise with America. So is it a direct link? I don't know, but there's a lot of links, and it wouldn't surprise me since the United States have two coup d'etat Haiti maybe 3, 4, 5 times, in the past 100 years, 20 years. It's been, 2 or 3 or 4 coup d'etats. It's just every damn 5, 10 years there's a fucking coup d'etat. So it wouldn't surprise me when they asked Biden if he had done the coup d'etat or if he had heard about it. He very stupidly and unbelievably said no, like he stuttered, like when they asked him about Tara Reid. Hey, did you finger Tara Reid out of nowhere? What, me? I didn't. What do you, what? No, no way. So that's how he had answered if the United States government was responsible for the assassination of President Moise. They liked Moise. Moise was doing good. He was, creating farm opportunities. He was doing a lot of good. So it has awful poverty. It's descended into chaos. Gangs have taken over. There's some revolutionaries that's out there, but mostly it's gang on top of gang. So it's a whole bunch of just tribalism. And we had tribalism in America, with the Native Americans. You had, the Shawnee, the Cherokee, you had the Iroquois. You just had a whole bunch of tribes all over the place, right? No one nation, just a bunch of different groups of folks. So they're coming out of awful poverty. I believe that Haitians are respectable and mannerly, and they're conservative in general, just with like their money and their cultural. They speak French, so they're very cultural and they're frugal. And so the average Haitian, I would say, isn't engaging in any of this. And so none of these folks, when he interviewed them, there was one guy that said that there was a van full of cats, and if it's too good to be true, it usually is. So if it's too bad to be true, does that mean it's probably bullshit too? He said like there was a van with like 100 cats, and then the cops had pulled them over or some shit, and that they were just collecting cats to eat them or some shit. So I don't know. J.D. Vance said that people are just missing pets, not supposedly that anybody has actually seen a Haitian kill a dog or a cat. That's pretty sick, and that sucks if that's what they're doing. But a duck or a goose, people eat chicken in America all the time, right? Cow, pig, and chicken. I mean, my God, people go crazy for KFC and what's that, Chick-fil-A. So everybody's eating fucking chicken every fucking day. But you actually go out and go kill your own chicken and then eat it. That's somehow different and weird. Duck and geese. Duck is actually like, Peking duck. It's actually a delicacy. You go to a fancy restaurant if you want to eat a duck. And so it wouldn't surprise me that if you come to America, coming from awful poverty, and then this country, it's dog eat dog capitalism. So let's listen to some more of this.
She heard one of them say it, and it was actually in English.
Look at them just blasted off. What the fuck?
They've knocked down my grandmother's fence.
Yeah.
That brick wall back there, they drove into it. They've hit cars around here. I mean, they cannot drive. Whoever's giving them driver's license ought to have theirs taken on.
But look, every time a country moves into another country, talk about we're taking over, that leads to war.
100%.
Like, when you have the old black dude siding with the old white redneck, and they're talking about joining teams, that's when you know everything is going to go downhill, and it's going to go downhill quick.
That is such a good point. When I first heard about, that they were eating ducks, it was a black dude who was sitting there saying it. It was a black dude, like, basically American. Had the hat, had the coat, the jacket, real, good English. And so it was a black dude at the city council, and then there was a bunch of, like, poor whites that were sitting there complaining about it, too. So they were complaining about just the migrant population. You got 20,000 Haitians in this small Springfield, Ohio town, and it's just kind of causing havoc. And so are they eating people's pets? I don't know. I would hate to hear that. It wouldn't surprise me if that, some of the poor Haitians had killed a duck or two, or a goat. Or maybe a goat, but people eat goat meat too, right? A bunch of yuppies will eat goat meat, but a geese. So in America, you got dog eat dog capitalism. Nobody gives a fuck around here, right? If you could take advantage, if you could get a one up on somebody, the welfare people don't even help working class people. If you got a full-time job, even if it's minimum wage, you're not going to get no welfare. You're not going to get no food stamps. You're not going to get any goddamn assistance whatsoever. It's dog eat dog capitalism. So not only is it dog eat dog capitalism, so every man for himself and every woman and child for themselves, you got to get your own job, and if you're not able to figure out your own way, well then it's on you. It's all on you to, get your job, to get your money right. Well, if you come from terrible poverty and you walk into terrible poverty, and then you realize how capitalistic it is, and it's all on you, no welfare, and then we don't have a war on poverty, so you don't have a big fat welfare state, and then you don't have universal basic income, you don't have infrastructure, so you got 20,000 migrants there, and he said that he had parents, that other guy said that he had parents, so if you got, some people to go to, then that would be helpful, right? So if you look at our own homeless, nobody gives a fuck in America. Nobody gives a fuck. So if you combine the dog-eat-dog capitalism with nobody gives a fuck here, we got poor homeless people that live in the sewers in Las Vegas. So there's awful poverty to a brand new country that has dog-eat-dog capitalism where nobody gives a fuck. You got to make do. You got to, you got to eat something. You got to get that protein somehow. So right now you have 11 million migrants that are here. I'm not sure why I'm mentioning any of this, but there was a question about whether or not, what should we do with the 11 million migrants? And I was just watching Tim Black, and he was kind of saying, there is an immigrant problem. Well, the 11 million, you had Bush that tried to propose a thing.
Our town thing is like, I just hope that whatever you guys do cover, something good comes out of it, right? Like in the next 5 to 6 years, hopefully there's some sort of unity between everybody. Hopefully there's some sort of change. That's the biggest thing. Like, I feel like you guys should cover just some sort of like way to bring people together. This is the guy you want to talk to.
How you doing, man? We're filming a YouTube video. We're trying to see what's going on here.
All right, we'll let that play here in a second. But there is 11 million immigrants are in America right now. And so they're everywhere, and it's not just criminals, and it's not hiding in. Some of them are just plain obvious. You got migrant workers, you got a bunch of farm workers, you got a bunch of tomato pickers, tobacco cutters, and apple pickers, and strawberry. You got farm workers. So you have 11 million immigrants that are here, and I think that there's good and bad, right? Just like with anybody else. It's good for diversity. It's good for culture. Let's get it on in.
Wait, you running for mayor? Oh yeah, I tried to find you. I know who you are. So out of pure luck, I met up with Anthony Harris, the guy who went viral for giving this speech at Springfield's town hall.
These Haitians are running into trash cans. They're running into buildings. They're flipping cars in the middle of the street. They're in the park grabbing up ducks by their neck and cutting their head off and walking off with them and eating them like.
And who's been going live on Facebook.
Yeah, that's the guy that I had actually saw. And so it's kind of, why would he just make stuff up about that? And he said he was running for mayor too. I mean, he went viral, so he probably could become mayor. So you got 11 million immigrants that's in America now. So what are you going to do? Even Bill O'Reilly said you can't just do a mass deportation. Just think of the optics, right? It's going to be Nazi fucking Germany. You're going to go door to door, put everybody on trains. You're going to have a mass deportation. People are going to go fucking crazy. They're going to go ape shit. And somebody's going to do something dumb, and somebody's going to get killed. And then now look what you did. You just made it all fucking fucked. So that's not a very crystal clear issue. So Bush, number 2, actually had a suggestion where you throw the criminals out, you keep the dreamers in, and then for the mass bulk of them, for most of the 11 million, I don't know if it was like 9 million, 8 million or something back then, but what you do is you have a work to citizenship program. So, in 5 years, in 10 years, you get to become a citizen. So it's not just criminals here. We got dreamers, we got, students and farmers. So a work to citizenship program would make a lot of sense. Now, Kamala had introduced immigration reform last year, and she also introduced it this year. Donald did kill the bill, and what they think is they're going to blame the damn president because people aren't paying attention. That's Mitch McConnell's obstruction 101. You just sit there and obstruct the Democrats from doing any damn thing, and then when the Democrats aren't able to pass any bill, then everybody will just blame the president. The buck stops with the president. He'll get all the damn blame, even if it was Republican senators and Republican representatives who killed immigration bill that they themselves would believe in if it was a Republican president. But since it wasn't a Republican president, they wouldn't get no damn credit for it. They were not going to do the right thing, which I think is fucking bullshit. I like Bill Kristol. He said with Obama that basically he liked his policies because they're a continuance of Bush's policies. So what's it matter if you got a Democrat or Republican in there if you're getting the policies that you want? So, and we're getting smarter, So when it comes to immigration, you could say that there's new immigrants that are coming in, but you can't say that 11 million people are here because of Biden. 11 million people, millions of, the bulk of them, 8, 9 million have been here for decades. They've been here since Bush number 2. So you can't blame all of it, on Biden. And they tried to introduce immigration bill last year. They tried to introduce immigration bill this year, and it's the Republicans that stopped it. The Republicans killed the bill. So you should be pissed off at the fucking Republicans. They're doing it for show. They're doing it to obstruct. They're playing fucking politics. They think you're just going to be such a dumb motherfucker that you'll just blame the president because you're stupid and you don't know who your senators are and you don't know who your representatives are. You're just such a dumb motherfucking lot that you're just going to blame the damn president and not your representative and not your senators and not your mayors and governors. It's just going to blame the president, right? Just blame the guy who's got dementia and he's on vacation all the damn time. He tried to pass, he's a right winger. He tried to pass immigration, last year, this year. He's a deporter in chief too, so he's actually deported a whole bunch of people.
How many Haitians do you think will come out here in line today? That's what we're trying to...
I'll say 80% of the people that come out here will be Haitian.
Okay. How long have you been here in Springfield?
I've been here for 7 years now. What takes so long is because they've got only 2 lines that they serve people in there, sometimes 3. And on all 3 of those, they got interpreters for each one, right? Where it'll go a lot faster if you had 1 line for people that couldn't, speak English that well, and then have another line for people that can go through the line faster. Because a lot of times they'll have paperwork with them and stuff they won't have it in order.